Good morning, friends. Today we are all going to discuss with one of a most notable, beautiful, emotional um, poem called as "The Pair of sarus." So let's welcome to. So this is a poem which is written by Manmohan Singh, "The Pair of sarus." Let me know about the poet. Manmohan Singh is an IAS officer and he was considered to be a contemporary poet. His poems is goes to published with so many magazines. This beautiful poem was chosen from the book called as Village Poems. The pair of Sarah's crime. The male was sure as he necked to pull the recurrent sun out from the rim of horizon. The neck means stretch its neck. The recurrent means hesitate. Here, the rim means edge, the rim of origin we can see. So what it means, the pair of sarus crane is there. They started their life in the early morning. The bird was hurried to fly in the sky. So, but sun is not ready. And that time, the hunter was came and it was shooted by the hunters. So this rim of origin means the sun is not ready to come out. So in that time, the bird was came to fly in the sky. In that time, the hunters were hunted the bird. So the male bird was shoot out and lie down. After that, we have find out that the female partner was flying in the sky. See, she flew crying as he was picked up hands and jaws, and proud neck was humbled to lie like a dirty linen in the course of washing back. The humbled means lower dignity, the coarse means rough, and the hunters picked up the hands and jaws, threw it like a dirty linen, the course of washing back. Which means after the death of the male bird, the female bird was flying in the sky by crying. So the dead bird, the lifeless body of the male bird was picked up the hands and jaws as we see in the picture. They keep it in a dirty linen course of bag. So they undignifiedly behave with the male partner. This second stanza tells about the undignified nature of human being about other animals. Okay, let's come to the third stanza. She was circled the sky in the moment of grace over the disgraceful end. The killers went away and she returned the death scene to the death scene. See, the notice this the female bird circles in the sky, crying patiently. The poet was contrasts the graceful movement of a female bird against the disgraceful end of a female or male bird. So in this stanza, the poet was goes to tell that after the death of a male bird, the hunters were took it away. Later on, she was circled in the sky with a moment of grace that was ended by the disgraceful end. So after the killers are went away, she returned to the death scene. She returned to the death scene, and it shows that the purity of a love of a female bird to the male bird. So after this, what happened? So this is in the next stanza. Let me see. So here we are observed that with a grief that with a grief that was increased its intensity, then in the dots and the pits, like the Morse code of the birds, sorrows are transmitted in the air. The dots and pits means the short and long cries of a female bird. And we also know about the Morse code, that is a symbolic language was invented by Sam F. B. Morse. It is used to be the combinations of long and short sound or the flashes of light for sending the messages. So in this paragraph, we can find out that the female bird was shows its cryness, sadness by his voice. So that wordings are the long and short to, terms of words of the female bird will be explained as a dots and beats or the cries of a female bird in the Morse code. Okay, so this is the stanza. In the next stanza, I observed that. So with her beak she was kissed a few feathers, picked the ones that wind had not taken away, and sat to the hatch the red-stained feathers into the toading cheek. Toading cheek means walking with the short, unsteadily steps. In this stanza, the poet was going to describe that when the female crane was come to that place at the death scene, it was desperately shows his sadness or its feelings. He took one feather. That feather is blood-stained feathers, which are not taken away by the wind. That blood-stained feathers, in the first picture you can see this, it was going to collected that. And later keep it in a hatch and sit it down on the feathers. Why it was sitting down? No, it was feels to take that, take back the female male bird. Okay, so this is one event. And we are finding out that toading. Toading means a walk with the short, unsteady steps. The grief of the sarus crane was such painful. Okay, so it not having a capacity to walk steadily. The pain make it unsteadily. The pain of losing the male bird make unsteadily to walk in the earth. Okay. The next last stanza we can find out that a wave of a sea. This was a beautiful line. How the metaphorically the poet was supposed to be compared the human love and as well as the poet, her bird's love. See the wave of the sea never seen come come to her far away. See the grief of losing a male bird. It is a huge wave. It comes to the female bird from far away. Okay. So next line says that and carried her to him. The wave of a sea comes to her and carried away to him. Him means the female male bird. Okay. She went away behind the used words. So what the love of these two birds was went away on human words. Okay. So in the last lines we can say behind the legends and the fables of human love. So which means we can find out human words means a widower bird to a pain away. Okay. And die. Then legend means stories from the ancient times, the people about the events that may not to be true. And also we can find out the fable. It is a traditional story which teaches a moral message. So in this poem, the poet was goes to tell about the widower bird. Pain carries her to the die. How the man was deeply in love with the partner, like that the female bird had deeply love with the partner, and it was lost. It was lost its partner, so that the pain was carried her to the death. Her to the death. It is a story behind our use words and legends. So legends means maybe in stories, maybe it's true or maybe for so many stories we can find out. Maybe it is true or false, but in this story we see the purity of life, we see the purity of love, and we see the pain of the female bird. Like that, Human in the human life also we can find out the so many of events we are lost so many of peoples also. So in the poem we are observed the summary. The poem decided dedicated to the pair of sorrows crying the tallest of flying birds. They are flying a very height, okay, the very tallest flying. And this the speciality of this um, sarus cranies, they are maintaining long-lasting bondings and until to the end of the life they have lived together. In this poem, we are find out the first picture, the opening scene. We can find out that the male sarus crane was trusted his neck to pull the recurrent sun from the rim of origin. Sun is not ready. The male bird was came and take the sun out of the rim of the origin. Like this, the bird was hurried. Okay, so but what happened? The male bird was hunted or the shooted by the hunters. So this suggested that the male bird was not have a patience, but the hunter came and shoot it down and reducing the proud neck was dignified, undignified heap. Then we observed that after the hunters away, the female bird desperately gathered the blood-stained feathers of a male bird as through she was trying to keep in a hatch with a toad in cheek out of it. See, this shows that how the poet was wanted to uh, tell the purity of love. The female bird wanted to get back the male partner by collecting the feathers and keep it in their hatch. Okay. So next, the wave of a sea come from far away. That it shows that the poet was compare that the wave of a sea means the death of a male partner comes from far away and took her to him. See, in the last stanza, we can find out the poet talks metaphorically. The sea is being metaphor for the death instead of the sea and the sea wave was compared to the death. Okay, the wave of the seas is called as a death. And finally, we can see that the bird was escaped from the cruel word of human beings and who have a legend and fables on the love, but have no value for the love of the birds. Human love, it is a lot of stories like Panchatantra stories or Raila Majnu stories, or so many stories we can see. But these peoples are not respect with the love of these pair of sorrows crime. Okay, so we are observed that most important questions. The questions are how the colorlessness of the birds killers are brought out in the poem. How does the poet was bring out the agony and desperations of the females are screen? A wave of a sea she had never seen came to her far away and carried to him. So this is considered to be one of an important extracts. What does the wave of a sea refer to, and what hadn't the female bird has seen before, and what is a figure of speech is used. So these are a few most likely or frequently asked the questions. So thank you very much being with us with a beautiful and emotional so, okay, thank you very much. Uh, we will meet you soon in the next class.